Welcome back to the Relaxing Ghost channel here on YouTube. Today we got our top 10 WWE DVDs of the decade 2010 through 2019. This was actually a pretty decent time period for DVDs. A lot of my favorites are, from 2005, 6, and 7, that era. But the last decade has been on and off in terms of the DVDs. Well, flip back and forth, back and forth. They kind of had their routinely timed releases with the kind of best of sets like pay-per-views, Raw, SmackDown, and whatever. And then the match compilations, the documentaries were all really well done, to a certain extent. The ones on this list anyway. We had our, goofy match compilations and things like that, like Falls Count Anywhere is never going to be on a list here, or, the top 50 finishers. There's, weird DVD releases out there, but when I think of the last decade, I could run off, tons of DVDs from this era. So comment down below your top 10 DVDs of the decade. If you don't have 10, just list a couple or whatever you think should be number one. So I'm going to start going here. First off, you could slot these any way you want. This was pretty tough. But number 10 is going to be the Ultimate Warrior DVDs. You could put both these together, in my opinion, with the Ultimate Collection and Always Believe. Two awesome releases that we kind of got out of nowhere. Ultimate Warrior, had a long time bad history with WWE and Vince McMahon. So having these both released one after another, and unfortunately Ultimate Warrior passed away days after his Hall of Fame speech and induction. So these are really cool to have. Next up here, one I think got bumped down a few pegs actually. The True Story of Wrestlemania. This will always be a classic DVD, and to me it earns its spot in the top 10 list. The True Story of WrestleMania, I mean, this is like how you do a kind of documentary style, pace by pace, step by step kind of documentary. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. This was a 2011 release. I'll give you the years for these as well. 2014 and 2015 for the Warriors. But yeah, this has an awesome documentary. If you get the Blu-ray, there's tons of matches and things like that. I'm definitely going to highly recommend all 10 of these DVDs or Blu-rays. Next up here, one of my personal favorites as well. You Think You Know Me, the story of Edge. Sadly, Edge retired in 2011. This came out in 2012. Full-blown documentary. Some of Edge's best matches, including the TLC versus John Cena, Unforgiven 2006. You got Edge versus Guerrero, Randy Orton, Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, and Christian. His final match at WrestleMania 27. TLC matches and Elimination Chamber matches. One of my favorite Hall of Fame speeches as well came from Edge. This is where we kind of, it's hard to really slot these, so if you slotted them a different way, or if you have different choices for this list, make sure you drop a comment. I want to know what everyone's lists are. At first, this one didn't really make my list, and I got a few honorable mentions if you guys want to check those out. So number I think 6 were on. Number 7, Paul Heyman DVD. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. This one almost didn't make my list, but I did swap it for something else. Holy man, this is a really good documentary. A fantastic match selection. Pretty much just a promo selection from the AWA, WCW, ECW, tons of stories from WWE, teasers. There's 3 matches, but you're buying this one for tons of content. 2014 release here. Number 6, being a top 10 greatest of all time, or top 10 of the decade, this one definitely had to make the list for the rarity it was and still could be today. Owen Hart of Gold is at number 6. This might be number 1 on your list. I know it sadly got bumped out of the top 5, but the Owen Hart of Gold DVD almost didn't happen. And thankfully it did, because this is a rare gem. And if you're lucky enough to have a copy of the band alternate cover, very, very hard to find here. So this was filled with controversy, this DVD. And, Martha Hart pretty much shot this thing down time after time. The covers got changed, probably the documentary got changed, match selection got changed, and whatnot. Martha Hart was not cooperating with WWE on this. She wanted no part of it. So that's why this DVD is so special and deserves a spot in the top 10 of the decade list. Top 5. This wasn't as hard as I thought, but again, you might slot them different, opposed to me. See what I did there? It's number 5 on the list. Could be number 1 again. These are the way I would rank them. Macho Man, the Collector's Edition. So you could swap Owen and Savage, if you wanted Owen in the top 5. Personally, it could go either way. But the Macho Man Collector's Edition DVD is truly an awesome box set. And if you could find it, definitely pick up this one. You get, both DVDs. You get the shirt, the glasses, the cool box set here, with all the goodies inside. And this is definitely a hell of a set. You get the Ultimate Collection and then the documentary with more matches. So this is a must-have of the decade. One of the greatest documentaries of all time is the Macho Man set. Number 4 on our list, Raw 20th. The 20 greatest episodes uncut and unedited, according to this box set. Raw 20th is going to go down as probably one of the greatest DVD sets of all time. It's, legendary 12-disc set with the famous Digibook, packaging. This is an awesome collector's set. It's an awesome piece and was thankfully a set I got for $1, believe it or not. So this comes with 20 classic Raw episodes. This was released in 2013, around the 20th anniversary of Raw. It's weird because they did a lot of DVDs for Raw. They did Raw 100, Raw 20th, Raw 15th, so on and so forth. Savage's box set was released in 2014. So we got a lot of good DVDs from 2013, 2014 era. Next up here, number 3. I'm going to go with CM Punk, Best in the World. This could be number one on your list. You know, this is considered one of the greatest documentaries of all time. And CM Punk finally back in WWE. You know, I would always consider this a really good documentary and a turning point in the WWE PG kind of era there. They were falling flat for a couple of years, and CM Punk kind of picked that brand back up and took it to another level for a good period of time. Number 2, as good as this DVD is, I feel like it's kind of dropping down a couple pegs for me, but this will always be one of the greatest DVDs of all time. I know I'm saying this a lot here, but all 10 of these DVDs will go down as some of the greatest DVDs of all time, whether that's of the last decade or of all time. Let's get that straightened out. Stone Cold Steve Austin's Bottom Line on the Most Popular Superstar of All Time. 3-disc Blu-ray, 4-disc DVD set. This is like a 3-hour documentary. You got 10 hours of Stone Cold Steve Austin here. You know, from all the beer trucks, the Corvettes, the bedpans, WrestleMania 17, 19, all his cool matches with The Rock and Triple H and Undertaker. You're going to find all that good stuff on here. Matches with Kurt Angle and RVD. This is one of the funnest DVDs you'll ever watch. For me, number 1 is going to be the Greatest Rivalries DVD. Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart. This is one of my favorites of all time. I believe this to be one of the best of all time as well. So, pretty much a recap of the Monday Night Wars and the Survivor Series and whatnot, but this is what really got me into collecting the DVDs was this set here, and I absolutely love this. You got both their Hall of Fame inductions, Bret Hart's return to Raw in 2010, the Iron Man match from WrestleMania 12, and on the Blu-ray, the match itself from Survivor Series 97. So there we have it, people. Let me know your thoughts on this list. If you have any other DVDs you would switch or ones that didn't make the list, make sure you drop a comment down below. As always, we'll talk to you later. Peace.